stale this one, but stale the better. I'm just going to spread some butter on both sides of the hot cross bun. Thicker the better. Once we've done that, we're going to cut the hot cross bun in half again. So we've got 4 quarters. We've got a little cast iron dish here, and all we're going to do is pop these quarters into the dish. To make it a little bit more luxurious, I've got another tablespoon of raisins. We're just going to scatter these around, push them down in between the slices of the hot cross bun. So now we're going to make our custard. I've got 3/4 cup of cold milk. To this I'm going to add 1 beaten egg, and 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and give this a good mix in. And then we're going to pour it over the hot cross buns. We're doing this first just to allow this hot cross buns to absorb this moisture we're putting in. We want it to soak into it. So we're just going to put that aside, and we'll put it into the oven when we're ready. So now we're going to make steak and kidney pie. So I've just got 1 steak, about 175 grams or so. So I'm just going to cut this into slices, and in the end I'm looking for about 1 inch cube. And leave the fat on here, let that render down in the pan. We've got our steak cubed up. And now for the kidney. So I'm going to use about 1/3 of this kidney. I'm going to cut that up into inch cubes again. So that's our meat ready. So I'm using the wood burning stove today. I'm just going to pop a little cast iron skillet on, add a little bit of oil, about 1 tablespoon. Just going to warm this oil up, and then goes 1/4 of a chopped onion. So we're just going to fry this onion off until it starts softening. We don't want to take on any colour. Next to that, we're going to add 1/4 of a chopped garlic clove. So remember, this is only a pie for 1, so we don't want it to be too strong in garlic taste. Just going to sweat that down. Now we're going to introduce the meat. So what we're looking for is just to brown all sides of the meat. As you can see, this meat's given off a lot of meat juices, which we'll use to make the gravy. So I've just got some beef gravy here. We're just going to add some of this into the skillet now, just to thicken this gravy up in here and just give it a bit more of a beefy flavour. As you can see on the right hand side, I've got a pot on with some oil. to finish this off, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. I love adding Worcestershire sauce because I can say it. So we've got a little dish again, cast iron dish. I'm going to put our pie mixture into the dish. Don't to leave any behind, that's just enough. So I've got a disc of short crust pastry I cut earlier. I'm just going to pop that onto the top. I'm just going to take a knife now and cut a V in it to let the steam out. What I've not actually shown here is I did brush it with some milk. So that's our pie ready. So we've got the wood stove up to temperature. Bread and butter pudding's going in. And our steak and kidney pie is going in. So our pot that you can see that was on the side, we've brought that up to 170 degrees C, 340 F. And now we're going to make some chips. So I've just peeled some potatoes, cut them into chips, and we'll get these in. These are cooked for about 10 minutes on here. We're going to cook them until they go soft, but we don't want much colour on them at this stage. Just put a little skillet on with some oil in for our next dish. But these they've had about 10 minutes. They've gone soft, so we're going to take them out. Drain them on some kitchen paper. And now we're going to bring them all up to 180 degrees C, 360 F, and pop the chips back in. This will bring a nice golden colour onto the chips now. So now we're going to make our starter. This is going to be a black pudding entree. This is an English crumpet. So we're just going to draw that straight onto the flat top and start toasting it. I've got 1 round of black pudding that's going into the pan. This black pudding is cooked, so all we're looking to do is put a crisp outer coating on both sides. Turn the black pudding over. The chips are starting to take on that nice golden brown colour. The black pudding's ready, so we'll take that off. We'll keep turning our crumpet. And now we've got some mushy peas. This is a British classic. We're just going to keep those warm. We've got a little pot of gravy bubbling in there as well. The chips are coming up to be done. Our crumpet's nicely toasted. So we've got a dish again with some kitchen towel in. We're going to take the chips out and drain them for the colour on those chips. Our chips are ready, our pies are ready, our bread and butter pudding's ready. So we're going to assemble the starter, our black pudding. We've got some greens on there, cherry tomato, and just a little dousing of balsamic vinegar. Start plate up the main. We've got steak and kidney pie, homemade chips, and a good helping of mushy peas. So this is my British take on a big bang meal for the Cast Iron Wednesday challenges. So to start the meal off, we've got an English crumpet with a ring of black pudding, green salad leaves, cherry tomatoes, and a drizzling of balsamic vinegar. For our main course, we've got steak and kidney pie, homemade chips, and mushy peas. And you can't forget a good helping of gravy. Just look at the chunks of steak and kidney. Mushy peas, homemade chips dipped in gravy. Last but not least, traditional British bread and butter pudding. If you like what we're doing here at Dutchy Cooking, please subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell.